What is going on, people? Welcome to the Honor Level Podcast, episode 25. And today, we got the squad. We got a squad of people today. KreezyVisions, how we doing, boys?
We're good, man. We're good. How are you, man? How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Being busy. But you know what? I can't complain about being busy and working when I see the work that you lot have put in. It's insane.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, bro.
Like, insane. Like, so just to be clear, so I thought Kreezy was one person. Am I right in saying KreezyVisions is a collective?
I would say like KreezyVisions pretty much myself.
Yeah.
But now we're kind of building a production side of things now. So it's going to be KreezyVisions Productions.
Okay.
Well, yeah, man.
But it started off with just Kreezy.
Okay, so that's your main man, Kreezy, and then everyone else played their part in the team and is now becoming, basically a team.
Yeah.
Okay, I hear that. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, I did my roundup of the year, and I mentioned you boys. I mentioned you as putting in some big work, like, and we'll get to that in a moment. But talk to me about where you was at the start of the year. So, like, end of 2018, start of 2019. What was your situation? What did you have going on at that point?
I think at the start of the year, like I was still doing my thing. So pretty much, KreezyVisions was just pretty much like like a social media type of company, like an agency type thing. So I was just doing like a lot of gym videos, fashion, nothing to do with the music industry at the time.
Okay.
And eventually, Hefs, Hooligan Hefs, his older brother Hugo actually hit me up and was like, "Yo, Hefs wants to do a music video." I knew Hugo from like the fitness industry type thing, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then pretty much from there, I shot his first music video. I think that was like
2017.
that was like 2017 or something like that, or 2018, like end of 2018. And we shot Not Guilty, and that was like my very first music video. So I was like still trying to wrap my head around it, like how does this all work and this, that, and then eventually Hefs just kind of took off from there.
Okay.
I think all these other local artists started coming out of nowhere, and then I think we've only been shooting music videos now for what, like 4, 5, 6 months.
Like 6 months max.
Yeah, 6 months max as a production.
As a crew.
But Hefs was pretty much my first artist, and then pretty much grew from there, man.
Just stem from there. Well, that's a good example of somebody putting in a lot of work and then creating something that is high quality as well. You know, putting out something that catches people's eyes, and then people will then want to work with you. So, you know, it's putting out something good, putting something out that's really high quality, and then other people being like, shit, I want a slice of that cake too. Like, I want a piece of that as well. So definitely, man, when people ask me about like, what's the quickest way to grow and how do you network with people, I just say put out good shit. Whether you're an artist, whether you're a filmmaker, whether you're a producer, whatever it is, just put out good quality work, man, and other people naturally draw towards that. So I think you're a great example of that, especially if you're saying doing that in such a short space of time.
Yeah, 100%, man. Well, yeah, like I said, like what I've told all the other boys, like it's not about the money, man. You know what I mean? It's always about just, you know, do shit for free. Like the quality is up there, and you're just fucking grinding every fucking day, but you'll get something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's a really good point. Doing shit for free, like when people are talking about opportunities, sometimes the best opportunities come from doing something as not even as a favor, just being like, I will do this for you, and then you know, at the very least getting a good connection out of that, and someone down the line remembering, I remember when you did that for me, like, you know what, let me return the favor in whatever way it is, or just using that as free marketing, like, I will do this for you, and then as we said before, people see that and then they want to work with you, and then that's when more opportunities come from that. So yeah, man, working for free is a big one, obviously, if you can, because I'm sure that there's plenty of people that aren't in as fortunate of a situation. Like, obviously people have got to eat at the end of the day, you know, like that. People have got to earn their money, pay their bills, pay their living. But if you have the opportunity to, I'm sure that's a great way of doing it. So you've started off the year working in other industries, but not so much in terms of doing music videos.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, I just think for me, like how my kind of name kind of grew out think it was just more in the fitness industry game.
Yeah.
And that's where I met this guy, Kevin.
Yeah.
So Kevin and Dak, actually, these two. So I think the fitness industry it was like a thing. It was like a big thing in like 2017, 2018.
Yeah. Fitness videos and stuff like
Fitness
that.
was really booming in Australia.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I don't know, we just kind of got very experimental with like the style of work, I guess,
Yeah.
which you can kind of see in the music videos.
Yeah.
Kind of just implemented what I kind of knew from the fitness industry and just kind of put that into the music industry. Just to kind of spice up the game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Well, it's translated over well, I've got to say so. I mean, so you're doing this work with like people involved in fitness. Was you working with any athletes of any sorts, or was it more like?
It was a bit of everything, more like big supplement companies. I worked with some of the biggest athletes right now in the world. Pretty much everything. Gyms, like I pretty much work for like nearly all the Anytime Fitness gyms out here. So yeah, man, it's a good opportunity, and it's it's good money to just live by, I guess.
Everybody knew Kreezy from just fitness videos. That's how I knew Kreezy.
Okay.
And like before I met him, I was just following KreezyVisions through the fitness industry. And then, like lucky enough, I got to meet him. And then when I left the fitness industry, or like when I left working in like a fitness gym type area, he kind of hit me up like, "Yo, you want to start working with me?" I was like, "Very fucking oath." And from then on, that's it. Like everything else is history.
Okay, so you've done the fitness, you've then got hit up by Hefs to do a video, and as the year goes on, other artists hit you up, other people's management hit you up, and then you start building up your collection of videos from there?
It kind of went like that. Obviously, there was other key players in the game, like other content creators in the game. Like, massive shout outs to the boy Dennis from Maxed Out Films. Like, he's freaking right now. Joe Plum, like all them.
Yeah.
They were like the key players in the game. So I kind of like had to find some inspiration from them to kind of be like, how am I going to do this? How I'm going to be different from these guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was just like,
Because they've been out for ages, man. Maxed Out Films been out for ages. He's been like the #1 guy.
So at the time, I was just like, I want to stay with Hefs to see how long it will take me to just kind of build my craft, I guess.
Yeah.
You know? And then eventually I told Hefs like, yo, is it cool, out of respect, to shoot for another artist? And that was, I think it was Pistol Pete and Enzo. So Pistol Pete and Enzo. So they were my second artist. And then pretty much from there, kind of people kind of just thought I was just a videographer just for Hooligan Hefs. So, nah, it was kind of just like a barrier. There was like a wall. They were like, nah, we can't use Kreezy because he just Hefs' videographer. You know what I mean? But I was like, nah, it's not about that. I'm all about like the community, helping others. You know what I mean? I just wanted to be a part of that scene now. You know what I mean? I was like, now it's time for me to kind of step out from that and start helping other artists. Like, but we don't care about all that beef shit, bro. Like, it's all like one love at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Nah, I hear that. So obviously Hefs has given you your entry into the whole music video side of thing and entering the scene in that way, and then obviously you're branching out from there, and he respects that and supports you with that.
100%.
Nah, that's good, man. Glad to hear that. So from there, you've worked with Pistol Pete and Enzo. How did you get about working with Young and Lips?
Young and Lips, I actually hit him up on Instagram. I was like we've done maybe about 3 or 4 music videos for Hefs now, and then maybe 2 videos for Pistol Pete and Enzo. And I just messaged Lips one day. I was like, yo, but I need to shoot your next video, man. I'm calling my manager right now. So I called his manager hit me up. Next day we're at a meeting, and then pretty much from there, good mates, and had a meeting and done the silent video, man. And it's doing crazy numbers right now. It's like 500,000 views now.
I know, just in no space of time, man. That guy is, yeah. If he continues as he's intended, what's the way? We're there. Words. If he continues the way he started, definitely I can see big things coming for him in the next year or 2. Definitely. So you've done that, and then the one that I have to address now, the video with Hefs and Massey Rook. That one. Tell me about this movie now. Tell me about this movie.
First of all I want to say is massive shout out to Massey Rook because he is the visionary for that music video, man.
Yeah.
Like without his vision, that wouldn't be like that. You know what I mean? We kind of just
figure trace the angles,
We filmed this vision.
and gave our own creative input.
We just
But,
brought it to life.
yeah, pretty much.
You know what I mean?
But he was like the main guy.
Yeah,
that was great.
Kev, you did the interview part of the behind the scenes video, right?
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, to kind of show like people like, okay, like it wasn't just us. You know what I mean? It was Rook, bro. Like Rook was the one that took us onto the journey of how he wanted to shoot the video, and that's why I kind of try to showcase the best of my ability in the video.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Rook kind of organized the whole shoot actually. Like, it was all him, man.
Down to props and everything as well.
Yeah, props, location.
Yeah.
He just wanted, someone to kind of bring it to life, and Hefs is one of his best friends and one of his pretty much his brother.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Yo, you gotta get crazy on this." So, and I've always wanted to shoot something like that. You know what I mean? Like eventually, like my goal is to shoot like horror films, and kind of just getting more into like the cinematic realm of things. So I think it was like a perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
And I'm glad like the boys were on board with it. And yeah, man, we just had our own creative input and just fuck man, it came to life. And
it's funny because our #1 reference for that video was Top Boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
People here love that. People here love that show, bro.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
is that show big out in Australia? Like people.
Yeah. But we have massive UK influence here, bro.
Yeah.
huge. You can see that.
So it's not just music then. It goes into like TV and film as well.
Yeah, but even your slang, bro.
Yeah.
We use it here.
Okay, so I mean, based on that behind the scenes video as well, you could see that Rook had a lot of ideas, and you could see that he was part of that direction, and you could see he was directing and telling you exactly what he wanted you to film. And then it was sick how you put the side by side, the picture in picture, and you could see what he's like, I want you to do this, and then you see the end product of the video working hand in hand. And as you said, it was his visionary, and you guys need the skills to then translate what's in his mind onto a screen. That's a difficult thing to do. How do you have that a lot with other artists? Was that the most hands-on video you had? Like, do you have artists that normally take a step back and is like, I trust you with what you're doing? Or do you have people who are like, no, I want it precisely like this? Talk me through the process of working with different people.
Everyone else is different. Like, some of them have an idea, but they can't express themselves, so we have to try and bring it to life. But Master is one of those.
Yeah,
he knows what he wants.
Yeah.
And
I think Master was like the most hands-on, I reckon.
Yeah, 100%. That was a long shoot.
Yeah, that was like a 2-day shoot.
That was a 2-day shoot.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's because you hired out of Ross Clark prison. Like, what do you mean? Like, how did that happen? Did Rook have that covered? Did you boys have to sort that out? Like,
I think Rook knew
had
people
a
that owned
connection.
it. He had some sort of connection to him. I don't know, man.
Because it's not a real prison anymore. It's a private property now. It used to be a real prison, but now it's owned by like the Aboriginals.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you just had the entire space for what, 2 days?
Pretty much.
That's insane.
As hell,
Yeah,
don't get me started.
Shit, bro. Bro, I went home that night and I had nightmares, bro. These fucking spirits fucking following me home, bro.
Well, it falls hand in hand with your horror vision then, wanting to film something with horror. Did that kind of give you more ideas with that as well, or?
I don't know. Like, I think there was one part when Kev was actually filming Hefs and Rook in apparently it's like the most haunted cell block.
Yeah.
And then everyone's downstairs, no one's inside this massive cell block. You can hear people running upstairs, banging doors.
Yeah, because when I was filming them, I could hear the banging upstairs, but I thought someone was up there.
Yeah.
And I went outside and he's like, bro, did you hear that banging? So it wasn't someone up there. I was like, nah, bro. I was like, nah, bro, just get out, bro.
Yeah, that's that horror movie shit. See you later. I ain't hanging out.
I shoot with him.
So literally, what, you were given the keys to the place and you just were able to go anywhere, no limits?
Well, there was someone there that showed us around, what things everywhere we can go to. Pretty much it was open field.
Yeah, and there's a lot of props that we had access to as well.
Yeah.
Like the TVs and stuff.
Yeah, and the bed, the original beds were there.
Yeah.
Everything was there.
Yeah.
It was that location had a lot of opportunities to shoot different angles and different stories.
Yeah.
But I think we just went with what Brooks was giving us because some parts of that location didn't match what Rook was telling us. So we picked and choose just to tell the story.
Yeah,
that kind of translated to stream.
Yeah.
Well,
That first day, just for the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Day one was pretty much the
It was
trailer.
like a 10-hour shoot.
Yeah.
And then 6 hours the next day.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can imagine with something that looks as professional as it did, I'm sure that took a lot of extra shots. I'm sure you filmed way more than what you actually used. Am I right in saying that? Or was you very specific in what you was going to include in?
I think because Rook originally just wanted to do it all in one day.
Right.
And when we shot and I got home to the editing suite, I was like, bro, this ain't enough, man. You know what I mean? And Rook actually didn't have the master version yet, like of the track. So Hefs' part wasn't even in the track yet. It was just the instrumentals. And Hefs was just doing his thing, just rapping, or like using the actual master track when you get it.
Yeah.
So I told Rook, like, bro, we need this master track like by tomorrow, and we have to get the gel again. And he's like, I'll get it done, bro. Don't worry, I'll get it done. So he got it done, man. He was like really on the ball with it, and yeah, man. And
yeah, the next
shot. Every time I watch it, I'm like, you did that? Like,
Crazy.
Yeah, man. I can imagine that being a big thing. I'm speaking to a couple different videographers. They say that that's a big thing. Artists turning up and only having the instrumental, and then they're performing the track, and it's all good. It sounds all right, but then it comes to editing, they get the final track, and then it doesn't sync up properly. Have you ever had that turning up to a shoot and an artist is missing just something completely, or what? Have you had any issues being to a video shoot yet?
Something like that. No, we never had that. We've always had like. Maybe not the master version, but close to the master version always.
It's all drafts.
Yeah.
But no, they're all artists that we worked with so far, pretty much on the ball, man.
Yeah.
They're pretty organized with everything, props, cars, whatever they need. It's all good.
Yeah.
I think it just comes to communication. Yeah. Beforehand.
I mean, you working with people at a top level as well, so they should be organized enough to, be there on time, have everything they need, and have everything smoothed out. But I said timing and people are already smiling. This is an industry where everyone's late in this industry.
But the ones that they rock up late are always the bangers, man. No organization, no this.
Interesting.
It's always the last minute ones. They hit number one trending, bro.
Yeah.
If you know,
you know. Oh shit. So you've worked with a bunch of people. Is there any artists that you're looking to work with in the next year or so in specific, or is it kind of just open to just whoever wants to work with you that you're willing to work with as well?
I think after the Master Rook video, like my DMs and my emails went straight through the roof. And I'm like, holy shit, like this is happening right now, you know what I mean? But like we've been working, like actually today we've been working with a brand new artist. I won't say his name here, but he'll come out in 2020, and we actually work with 2 more that are coming out too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of all these new artists coming out, and like I said, man, it's all one love at the end of the day. So we're here to help out whoever. At the end of the day, we get to eat and we get to produce like crazy content. You know what I mean? Like it's not about picking and choosing.
Yeah.
But goals for next year, I don't know, man.
Just keep doing that thing, bro. Just keep doing that thing, because at the end of the day, like, it's not even now, bro. The Australian like hip hop scene is popping. Like this is the biggest it's ever been. Like I think America's obviously way established.
That's right.
UK is just like doing your thing now, but it's not. I think it's now time for Australia, and then I think next year will be like we just keep going as we progress. We're just gonna grow with it.
Yeah, 100%. But we do have a lot of stuff in the pipeline already for 2020, man. Yeah. So there'll be big things coming soon. But yeah, I think for me, man, just to go to the States and just
overseas
shoot like I don't know Migos or like some big. You know what I mean? I don't know.
So you're looking to branch out to America?
America, UK, wherever, man, wherever it is, man, around the world type thing, you know? Like,
UK, 100%. Me personally, UK, bro.
Yeah.
I want to do shit.
Yeah.
Well, if you boys come over, hit me up, boys. Let me know.
Big man.
Okay, so you have big things planned. You're bringing through these young artists or these new artists, and I feel like that's a big thing. You know, that's an important thing, because a lot of people start out, you know, with not much, not many resources. You know, they're filming in these budget bedroom studios. You know, they're filming off of their mate's iPhone, and you know, they're trying to hustle and do their thing at an early level. But if you're able to help people from track number one, or whether they've been doing music for a while but want to like finally get it out there, you know, helping people, that's a real big jump to start people off, man. To have a professional looking music video is a massive thing early doors, especially when, you know, you're trying to network with people, and you know, you've got something to show. Because the amount of people that come to me and it's like, yeah, let's feature, or can you react to my stuff? And I'm like, yeah, all right, what have you got? And then they send me a SoundCloud link, and it's like, oh, that's nice. But, you know, having a real professional video is a big step in the right direction, especially from people from a promoter's standpoint, or venues that are hiring you to do shows. Having something professional to show is a big thing. So do you feel like you have a big influence in some people in the way they come up?
That would be cool.
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, not so much you in specific then. Let's just say videographers in general. Do you feel like having professional looking music videos at an early level, do you feel like that's a really important thing?
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. Because at the end of the day, it's your face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's how you kind of like, how would you say that? Show off yourself? What's the word for that?
Present yourself.
Kind of present yourself. Yeah.
Your portfolio.
At the end of the day, yeah, man, like if you have the money and you got the budget to do something professional, even if it's your first track or something else, 100%, I feel like videographers is like the main key in the game, bro.
Yeah, I feel like music videos is a very like key thing right now. In terms of the Australian hip hop scene, that's why I feel
I think, yeah, because there's so much legals here, as you kind of know right now, and that's the only thing they can do. Like, they're pretty much shutting down nearly every show, and the only way they can express themselves is to do music videos.
Yeah.
And this is where we kind of come into the game and kind of like make that happen for them. You know what I mean? That's the only way they're gonna release music down here. They can't really play live shows and make money. Like, they can be making money doing YouTube streams. You know what I mean? And that's the only income they can make right now, Spotify and YouTube.
Yeah.
Or SoundCloud, whatever, iTunes, you know what I mean? They're just trying to make a way out of you type thing, you know what I mean?
Oh, of course, and it's giving people a platform to do their thing. I mean, even as you say, YouTube and Spotify streams, like, you understand, it takes millions of streams to get a decent income. It's not like YouTube and Spotify pays the biggest amount. The biggest income for artists, the two biggest, I'd say, is shows and tours, and then album sales. And, you know, for a lot of these new artists that are coming through, they're not going to be selling an album in their first couple tracks putting out. You know, they've got to establish themselves at least for a couple years before they think about doing things like that. So, you know, when shows are being shut down, as you said, the only thing they've got left is these music videos, and being able to give them a platform is a very important thing for them, especially if they're in a bad situation, or they're living in an area that, you know, they feel like they need to get out of for the better of them or their families or their loved ones, you know. And so trying to find as many ways out is important.
That's what's sad about it. Like you said, like, they're in some people are in a tough situation in their life right now and they want to get out, but then obviously like the system is like not letting them. Does that happen in the UK though?
Yeah, that's happened plenty. It started out with artists having their shows shut down. Similar to what we're seeing with some artists in Australia right now. Shows being shut down, and then it even went as far as videos being taken down. And so it was like, right, so I can't perform and I can't put my music out. What do you want me to do then? And the argument that has always been put out that I personally agree with is, okay, you want them to get off the roads, you want them to stop doing a madness, you want them to stop committing crimes. Well, this is their outlet. This is the way that they're trying to get out the hood. This is the way that they're trying to better themselves, and you want to shut the only thing down that they're trying to use to get out of that situation. You know, so it is a sad situation to see. I feel for some artists, I feel like they fuck their own situation up. Like, I'm all for that and defending you and saying, no, let the man have their shows, let the man put out the videos, but at the end of the day, if you're continuing to then do a madness in a public eye, or you're out here snitching on yourselves, then it's like, well, there's only so much that people can help you. But yeah, there's some people that are really trying to better themselves, and even to this day, are having troubles. They did scrap a form. I can't remember the number. It's like a 696 form or something, and it was basically a form that the police would fill out, and it would have people's shows taken down due to they believe there would be violent acts. So if I booked a show down the road like next week, they might shut down the show, and it would always be the day of. It would never be like in advance where you could let your fans know. There were people traveling from all over the country to come to the show, and then it'll be shut down like 2 hours before it was meant to start. And they went, we believe that there will be gang affiliated violence here, and it'd get shut down last minute. So
that's the same now. It's kind of the same situation down here too. Like, it's getting bad. Like, even for us, like, even just to shoot videos, like, we had one situation where we went to shoot a music video, and the cops were there. Like, these were like the big dogs, man, you know. And they slapped me with a warning. So if you know anyone on this piece of paper and you do any electronic communications with them, we're gonna charge you or we'll give you 3 years sentence. Me being a videographer, I'm like, bro, I'm a business at the end of the day. You know what I mean? We're all just here to make money, bro. You know what I mean? Everyone's here just to, you know, do their thing. Yeah. And it's just getting harder and harder now. Like, shutting down shows now. They're kind of like shutting down music videos, and sometimes they're telling us like, nah, don't work with these guys because they're apparently gang affiliated. But artists, man, they're just trying to express themselves, bro. At the end of the day. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you know.
Yeah, but their music is creating violence, but like the violence always been there. You know what I mean? But now it's just they have a platform to talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, when you talk about violence from the earlier stages of hip hop in the 80s, they were talking about violence. They were talking about road and hood shit, you know? It's not been any different. And so, you know, we can understand that certain genres of rap or subgenres of rap are a lot more violent than others. There's no denying that when you hear a drill song, yeah, it's typically a bit more violent than some of your mainstream pop, you know? It just is. There's no denying that. But they're talking about what they're living, you know? And so, yeah, I mean, as you said as well, from a business standpoint, it's not just the artist, it's then the videographer, it's then, you know, the producer that's put in the work and sold the beat. Now the artist is like, well, I can't put out this song, and then you got that side of things. Then, you know, there's a lot of things that go into an artist doing what they do, you know? As much as an artist can be independent, there's plenty of people that work with them just to put out one track alone. And so, you know, with police shutting that down, that then has a knock-on effect with plenty of other people, including yourself.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I want to scream "fuck the police," but you know what? We'll save that for another day. So moving on. So you've done all of this work this year. You're looking to work with more people next year. You're looking to branch out. Is there anything else other than videography itself? Anything outside of just the camera lens?
I don't know. Maybe Kevin want to be a rapper soon.
I want to hear Sweet 16, boys.
But you can actually spit some bars, man. Right now.
Put him on the spot right now.
No way. No chance.
I don't know, man. For me, I just want to continue, man. I want to continue just in this field. Like, I've been doing it for about 4 years now. And I just feel like for the music industry, like I'm still a baby in the industry. You know what I mean? I'm not up there yet. You know, so I'm just gonna keep hustling and with these boys to get up into that. You know.
Well, if this is where you boys are at now, I mean, you know, I can't wait to see where you're gonna be in a few years' time.
Like it's just only the beginning for us, man. Like, to be honest with you, like we're still trying to wrap our heads around like, you know, everything that comes into the concept of shooting a music video, because at the end of the day, you're pretty much like a mini movie at the end of the day, and there's a lot of things that go into it, you know. And some artists out here, they just think it's one or 2 hour shoot, and they're like, yeah, we're done. No way, man. It's like there's a lot of time and, you know, stress that goes into it. You know what I mean? Like behind closed doors, we're actually out here just editing like 4 in the morning, 6 in the morning, and we don't even sleep sometimes. And, you know, sometimes we can turn around a video in a day and it's out. And then fucking some other days it's like taking us months to get out. So it's just, I think we're just kind of trying to, just structure and balance our lives for next year. Yeah,
Keep
man.
growing.
Just keep growing, man. I guess. Yeah. Who knows where 2020 is gonna take us?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just gonna ride the wave for now, bro.
No, that's
Pretty much.
sick. I mean, just for the viewers, just so they know, you're recording this podcast at what time? What time is it for you boys? 1:30 a.m. They just come back from a video shoot and they're out here doing a podcast in the early hours of the morning. You man are insane. But right, so you obviously you're filming videos this close to Christmas. Are you taking time off around Christmas, or is it working straight through?
Next 2 days.
I think editing. Yeah, I think me and Delhi.
Yeah.
We have 2 more shoots at the end of the year, and then I think the start of January, straight into music videos again. Yeah. So yeah.
So just a little bit of time off, but not much.
Yeah. Just the Christmas break and the New Year's, I guess.
Pretty much.
Good time to just get wrecked.
So what are you boys spending Christmas at home with your families? Like what are your plans over Christmas then?
Yeah, just pretty much
Family.
Well, I'm Filipino, so it's always big.
I'm just
big
trying
party.
I'm just trying to get fucked up, right? any excuse to get fucked up.
What about you, man? You got
Leave that.
you got anything planned for the?
Yeah, no, mine's staying just at home, staying close to home, not doing nothing too crazy. Yeah, taking a bit of rest before it's again full on. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll still be doing videos and everything. I'll still probably be editing Christmas Day, knowing me, but you know, yeah, just taking. I feel like that's an important thing. Go on.
How did you get into like how did you start like doing reviewing videos and stuff?
Doing all of this. So I was making like gaming videos from early 2014. Yeah, by early 2014 I was doing gaming shit, and then I was doing that for a while, and at the end of 2017, it was December 2017, I was still doing gaming shit then, and I was just like, you know what, this reaction business frustrates me. Like, I started watching a couple people who did reactions, and I'm like, you man are just doing it wrong, in my opinion. And I was watching people, and it was like, it was either they weren't funny, or they had no clue what they were going on about. And for most people, it was both. And so I was like, right. So I literally typed in one of my favorite songs. I typed in JME, Man Don't Care. And I typed in just Man Don't Care reaction video. And I watched as many different people as I possibly could. And no word of a lie, I must have went through a good 40 to 50 different people.
Yeah.
And bar 2 of them, I was bored. I was genuinely bored, and it was people just sitting there just, yeah, man, that's sick, like, subscribe, notification bell. I'm like, what do you deserve? What do you deserve? So I decided, you know what, let me, like, surely it can't be that difficult to do. So I did it myself, and I think the first ever reaction I did, might still even be up on the channel, was a reaction to Giggs' Fire in the Booth Part 3, I think it was. And I look back at that video now, terrible. Awful video, awful lighting, awful audio, the lot, terrible. But I was like, that wasn't so bad. And I did a couple more, and people started like commenting on my videos. I'm used to putting out a video and it getting like 10 views, 1 like, and a comment from my best mate, like one of them ones, innit? Just nothing. And so from there it started to grow a little, and people started checking out my music, because I was putting out my own music at the time. And I was like, shit, people are checking out my music and they're fucking with the reactions. It's like a 2-in-1 as well. So I started doing that, and I went from like 150 subscribers to like about 300 or so, before a guy called J-Mo commented on one of my videos, and he was like, react to Australian grime. Here's a Triple J grime cipher. I was like, what do you mean Australian grime? Like, and so from there it checked out that. I was like, fuck, who's this guy? And they were like, Alex Jones, Dr. Flea. I was like, he's dope, he's cold. Checked out a few videos, and then it got to Chilling It on Wombat's Underrated. Did my reaction to that, and then that just blew up overnight. Like, Wombat and Chill both shared it, and then just people were just like, oh, we want to see more of this Aussie shit. And I'm like, oh shit, we better get cracking with this then. And so I was doing both, and then as time went on, the UK reactions more and more time just got copyright claimed. Like, it just got shut down straight away, and I got 2 copyright strikes in a week. And for people who don't know, if you get 3 in a week, or if you get 3, I think in a year or something, your channel gets taken down. And so I was on 2, and I was like, this is getting a bit sticky. So I was like afraid to upload anything at this point. I was just like, oh shit. And So yeah, naturally the UK reactions phased out, and it just stuck with the Aussie shit. And then I just started taking more and more of an interest in the culture, more and more interest in the people. Started talking with artists, and it was like, shit, man, this really interests me, and it reminds me of where the UK scene was at however many years ago, when it was in its early stages. You know, it's been established in its own country for time, but in terms of starting to break to an international audience, it was in its first like year or two. And so I was just like, if I could be a part of that, then that's sick. And then just as time went on, people have just shown me more and more love, and so it's like a give and take both ways, I guess.
Yeah, we kind of felt the same. Like I felt like we came in at the right time. You know what I mean? When Hefs kind of came out, we were like, fuck, like I don't know where it's gonna take me. It's gonna do it. You know what I mean? And then eventually, like I would say Hefs is one of the key players, like right now in the game.
Right now, for sure. Like in terms of not just doing rap or drill, like he's done a few different like subgenres within it as well. You know, just trying new things and whatnot. And like the reaction I did a couple days ago, to the most recent one, I was just like, you know what, like over here that wouldn't pop over here, but apparently that's massive out in Australia.
Hefs is getting like club plays, he's getting everything. He's getting festival plays, like shop plays. It's crazy
because his music is diverse.
Very versatile.
Yeah.
Well, how did you feel when you got into that Vice thing, man, with 1-4?
That, you know what? So Vice hit me up months before that was even put out. Obviously, it must have been around the time that they were ready to film it or have filmed it. And someone hit me up and he was like, yeah, I'm an executive at Vice, and do we have permission? And I thought it was just some fake email, to be fair. And I was just like, yeah, go for it. Do whatever you want. And then it was a couple days before it come out. It's like, oh, you haven't signed the contract yet. I was like, big man, what do you mean, what contract? I had to send over like a digital signature and everything. And I was just like, 1 minute, how serious is this thing? And then I just woke up in the morning and my mentions just blew up, and it was like, you're in a 1-4 documentary. I was like, oh, hey. It was just like, okay, that's nice. And then seen it, and I was just like, oh, my little claim to fame. People thought it was all of a sudden gonna make me A-list celebrity. I was like, nah, I don't think so. But it was nice to have that acknowledgement. It was nice to have that nod. And it's weird to see how highly people regard me in Australia. Like, but I had someone DM me a couple weeks ago, and they're like, bro, just wanted to let you know I've been watching your shit for a while, and I've just got engaged. And I'm like, congrats. And he goes, but it's a bit of a mad story. I'm like, what's the story? And long story short, he was like, I was in a bar and some girl and her friend were talking about my reactions. And so he was just started watching it and like butt into the conversation, started chatting, and then like a year and a half later, they're now like engaged. I'm like, what the fuck? You get engaged because of my videos? Like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, man. It's been crazy.
A lot of people down here respect you, bro, because like you're contributing to the culture, bro. You know what I mean? You're contributing to the rise of Australian hip hop, and that's why we really appreciate you and respect you.
100%.
Oh, thank you, boys. I appreciate it. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm only showcasing what you boys are putting in. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? I'm only pulling a face and saying my piece to the shit that I'm seeing. I'm no different to a fan. It's just I'm on the opposite side of the world, and for some reason, some people like that. Some people don't. Some people are like, stay on your half of the hemisphere. Get out of here. But
we get excited when we see one. Oh, shit!
When I put out the end of the year list, and I see on all of your instas, you're like number 1. Yeah, obviously gotta go on my boy KreezyVisions, and you boys are like, right. Yeah. I was like, shit, boy. It's like you're getting me excited, like.
Watch out like 3 a.m. in the morning, bro.
What's the shit? I didn't want to Oscars or something, bro.
Nah, that's sick, boys. Nah, but honestly, I appreciate the love that you've given, like 100%, like just everyone, man. And I'm sure the same goes back to you. Like, do you boys get recognized in public? Are you at that point yet at all, or is it just like, oh shit, that's crazy?
It's slowly getting there. Like, I was at the club the other night, and they're like, bro, are you KreezyVisions? I follow you, man. I love you, man. I'm just like, I don't know how to take it in, man. I'm just like, what the hell? Like, it's weird, but. You know, it's all one love at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, like, we all try to stay humble at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's not about like, you know, boasting and like, crazy, just we just want to be humble at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's a difficult thing to do for some, you know, especially when you have a quick rise to fame and, you know, your name gets out there real quick and you're buzzing and all these new people find out about you at once, you know. It's difficult to kind of stay as you are. You know, you hear that same shit of an artist being like, I'm the same person I always was. I ain't changed. The money won't change me. And, you know, it's like that shit is difficult to do. Like, that ain't easy. You know, going from someone who's just a normal member of society in your hood, and then all of a sudden people around you are all of a sudden going like, can I get a picture with you? Or what do you think of this? And people are DMing you, yeah, can you check out my boy? And it's like, whoa, like I'm the same as you. I'm a normal human being, like, you know. And I'm sure you understand that from working with these artists. You know, you have millions of people watching the videos and seeing them as like the best thing since sliced bread, and you're just like, well, I was filming with them, like they're normal guys, like we hung out normal, we obviously worked, and we as creatives we worked together, but they're human beings.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
Yeah, man, I feel like it's I don't know.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's a weird feeling.
And then that's what I was trying to create with Master Rook. Like, I feel like, you know, that video, it kind of showed like that, like one side of him, but obviously like we know him as someone else because we talked to him and we spent time, like general time with him. So I was like, yo, like, I need to like do an interview with you because like people need to see the real you. You're a really humble guy. You're really smart, intellectual, and then that's what I was trying to showcase in the video. And then, like, yeah, people like really loved it.
Yeah, man. And that was a smart move to do as well, because I think he even says that in the interview. I'm sure he says something along the lines of like, people are hearing the music videos, but we don't know who you are. Like, I'm trying to show who I am, and I'm not necessarily promoting, you know, what I've been through, but I'm just telling my story, you know. And I know a lot of people love the line he said something about, you don't get respect by throwing your weight around. And, you know, he come across the right way, you know. He seemed to have gained a lot of fans very quickly, you know. I'm sure before you even put out a video, if you only put out that interview alone, I'm sure he would have gained a lot of respect from people, let alone put in a banging song with a banging video with a banging track behind it, and just everything just popped. And then all of a sudden this guy in his first project alone just has this crazy buzz around him. But you boys played a massive part in that, and that interview was amazing, to be fair, because I feel like that played a big part in it as well. Hey, you're a good interviewer, bro. You're a good interviewer. Like, that's something I need to work on. I'm not too great at the whole interview. That's why with this podcast, I don't like to see it as an interview. I like to just see it as a conversation and just getting to know someone a bit better, you know. But yeah, are you looking to do more things like that, like more interviews, or do you want to stay behind the camera a bit more?
No, I'm definitely I'm pushing more towards the interviews and stuff. I'm going to be doing something with Elijah Yo soon. I don't know if you know who that is.
With who, sorry?
You know Elijah Yo?
Yeah, Elijah Yo, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing something with Elijah Yo soon. But yeah, that's why, so Kreezy was the one that actually, he actually brought it up to me. He's like, bro, we should start this thing, like, just do like behind the scenes videos and like do interviews and stuff like that. I was like, I already had this brand called Blindside. I was like, that's like, bro, that's like the perfect name for it, like Blindside, you know, capture what you cannot see. So why don't I just bring that brand into the whole hip hop scene? He's like, yeah, bro, I'm cool with that. And then, yeah, so ever since then, like all the boys have been helping me out, and then I've just been like trying to push it, I guess.
Yeah, I think from like what I wanted for these boys, like as a collective, is to kind of like still work on their own things. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, we all actually want, they all have their own brands. Like he's Daily Visuals, he's Kevin Blindside, he's Haim Blindside, he's Dak Shots. You know what I mean? So they all have their own thing. Like he's a photographer. This guy's like crazy with all the fucking graphic design shit, 3D shit. I don't know, but all the electronic shit. That's him. And this guy pretty much, you know, he's all rounder. You know what I mean? All about the behind the scenes stuff, and he's a photographer. So at the end of the day, I just want everyone to like kind of just bring all their ideas into one, but they're still their own kind of brands as well. You know what I mean? And just it was all kind of like eating off the same plate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all go on. Yeah.
I talked about that in my yearly roundup as well, is having a brand. You know, like Kyle Golly, for example. First off, shout out Kyle Golly, man. The guy is so fucking dope. But you know, people know it's a Kyle Golly video right from the start. Like, you can tell by the style of editing, you can tell by the text he uses alone. It's like Kyle Golly font, like, you know straight away. And especially with like the whole No One Network business, you know, it's a brand. You can recognize that those people's work, and you know, and so I feel like that's an important thing if you're able to build up What was you gonna call it? KreezyVision Productions.
Yeah, we don't know yet, but like right now that's what it's for. But we might change it next year.
Stay tuned.
Yeah,
Stay tuned.
A lot of change is gonna happen next year, man. So, but yeah, man, shout out to all the videographers out there. Like fucking JN or Jane
Collective.
Fuck me, their content is like the next level, bro. Every time we see like a new 1-4 video, we're like, holy shit.
Wait, you call him Jay and I've called him Jean. Like what?
I don't know how to say it, bro.
This is what I'm saying, but a branding standpoint then. So we need an interview. Kev, get the interview. But yeah, no, I feel like it's an important thing, man. Definitely having your own personal brands, your own little thing to do yourself, and then to be able to put all of those skills and talents together to then push one brand forward, man. That's a big play. That's a big move for sure, man. And that only works by having a good relationship with each other, which it seems like you boys have a good chemistry amongst each other. And then also being good at what you do at the end of the day. And so if you're able to do that, man, I wish the best of luck for you boys with that. So how do you boys all know each other?
So me and Kreezy, we bumped into each other for 3 years ago for a fitness video shoot. I was doing photos and he was doing videos. And we just clicked ever since then. 3 years ago? Yeah.
Kevin.
My story is a bit touchy. So before we even
oh shit, that's a bit of a crazy opening.
I don't mean like that. Nah, but like before I met Kreezy, like when I first went into the creative field, like I was already following him. I was like, bro, like I was seeing his videos.
Idolized him.
Yeah, I pretty much idolized him. I mean, before he even became my friend, became my mentor, everything. I was like idolizing for him for like 3 years straight. And just all I wanted to do was meet him. So many people that came out to me like, oh, I'll link you up, but never happened. And one day I started working at this gym, and then he used to work there, and I was like, bro, this is the time. I'm gonna meet him now. I'm gonna meet him 100%. And then I just believed it. I just manifested the thought. And then 2 weeks after, he came to the gym for a shoot, and that's when I first met him. And then at first I thought he was like a standoffish guy, but then when we went to the room together, he was like,
1 minute, hold the phone. So you've been following him for a while. It's a touchy story. You got in a room with him, and that's when it happened. Blindside.
Nah. And then we exchanged a few words. He gave me his number. Then I went up to this guy. I was like, bro, KreezyVisions gave me his number. But I was full excited. And then 4 months later, I quit. I left the gym, and then I was like, yo, like, man, I should hit Kreezy up, man, like. Because I was in a very tough situation in my life at that time. And but I was like, nah, I did it because I was scared of rejection. I bitched it. But then he calls me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Come on, man. I'm getting this. I told you it was a touchy subject, bro.
No, go on. No, I like this. This is a good story.
I want to fight you, bro.
The biggest fanboy.
But then he calls me. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? KreezyVisions calling me. Yo, what's up, bro? He's like, bro, I heard you left the gym. I was like, bro, you want to start working with me? I was like, fucking right, bro. And then I was in a freaking shopping center, just screaming my head off. And then from then on, bro, like he gave me my first ever client, which I still have to this day, bro. So like that's why I always respect him, bro. Like every time we shoot, bro, every time we need help, I'm always there because like at the end of the day, like he's the guy to pull me on. You know what I mean, so like, from an idol to a mentor to like my older brother now. Like it's like I'm very blessed to say that because not a lot of people can. Yeah. That's my story.
That's a good story. As much as I joke, that's a good story. I like that story.
Yeah.
What are you?
Am I next? So I met this guy on a boat.
Oh shit.
So yeah, we basically back in the day, I was pretty much into live events. Live events in terms of weddings, birthdays, like live productions and things like that. So in one of my gigs, I was actually doing photography for a wedding, and there behold, I followed this guy 2 weeks before that. I'm like, that guy looks familiar. Like that guy's like carrying a like massive ass gimbal. I'm like, why do I know? It's like, are you like Kreezy? Are you like famous on Instagram? I was like, I guess, yeah, KreezyVisions. I was like, oh snap, I followed you like 2 weeks ago. So from then on, it was like, oh, we exchange words, like sharing our backgrounds and stuff, because we're both Filipino, so we kind of like vibe from there. And then after that, we actually didn't get in contact with each other until he transitioned playing COD into like PS4, and it's like, who plays COD on PS4? I'm like, oh yeah, I play COD PS4. And from then on, it's just like got in contact again. At that point in time, I was in like a live church production that was going on for like 6 months. So he saw my work through there, and it's like, oh damn, if you're free, come shoot with me. I've got a big shoot for one of the the athletes here in Western Sydney. So I'm like, all right, sure, let's go. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
History from there, man. And him, he's a new addition to the family. Picked him up. I'm the new one. Picked him up from the street.
This is my cousin. So he's the other half of Blindside. So I do more videography, he does more the photography. We actually met Kreezy at the same time, but then because I was more on the video side, Kreezy kind of picked me up, and now like I kind of established myself with Kreezy. Then I brought my cousin.
Brought me on. Yeah, brought me on, and I started doing photography for the whole production.
Yeah,
that's when I came along.
Yeah,
the whole production team.
Yeah,
but, we're playing like right now. We've got like we're close to friends. Like we're like pretty much best friends now. We see each other like nearly every day. Video call every day. Video call every day. Pretty much like brothers every day. Pretty much. But yeah, the team might grow next year. 100%. You know, it might grow into something bigger.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, big plans for 2020, and yeah, can't wait to express to everyone at the end of the day, bro.
No, I hear that, man. That's sick. So you've all, you know, gathered together. You've all looking to become a collective and push your own brands and do your thing at the end of the day, innit? Like, do what you know you're good at. And you're looking to grow that. Obviously, that classic story of, all right, yeah, so I know a guy, right? Can I bring my boyfriend? You must be thinking, shit. Like, but no, it's worked out, man, and that's sick, man. And as you look to grow, I know that's something that some people struggle with, you know, is kind of keeping that same energy, keeping the same work rate, keeping that same relationship with each other, and then as you try to expand, it's kind of keeping that same vision and keeping those same morals. Do you have a plan in place for that, or is that something that you kind of just want to naturally just let it unfold?
Just be a natural. I just want to be a bit more structured next year, like I said. But yeah, you just kind of just want to ride the wave, man. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these I always meet these new creators every single day. You know, we actually had one of the new guys to come along with us, kind of shadow us and just see what we kind of do, and kind of just like, you know, see how he works.
Feeling out.
If we like vibe with him, then come join us.
Yeah, we've had a lot of creators just like come shadow us in some shoots and see how we work and how they work.
Yeah, and if I vibe with them,
if we vibe, we vibe.
But yeah, like I said, take it kind of like just let it unfold, I guess. You know, at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's sick. So to people listening, then they want to work with KreezyVisions. They want to work with you boys, and they want to be a part of the team. What do they have to do? What are you looking for in someone to be a part of the team?
Shout out to feed first. Buy us all cars. I'm doing it.
No, man. Like,
come with a solid bag.
For me, I just think, I don't know, if you're just willing to put in the work, and you know, if you can impress us with like, you know, what you can do, you know, like
if you're built like us,
but I just think
humble.
I don't know, man, like show them what they got, you know what I mean? Like I've like put out like little resumes and tell everyone to kind of like come out and show me what they've got. And
you don't have to be the best.
Yeah. Like I'm willing to help. Like I've helped every single person in this room to get where they're at.
That's true.
Yeah.
And
they're gonna be willing to work.
Sometimes I don't even know things, and I have to like lean on this guy's back and be like, "Yo, I need your help." You know what I mean? So like, I don't know, if you can be like a strong link to the crew, then I don't know, join them.
Is it fair to say willing to work hard and learn?
100%.
Pretty much.
100%.
I think the three is willing to work hard, willing to learn, and willing to stay humble. Because we've had people that come up with us. It's like, oh yeah, I'm this and that. But like, okay, well, like if you're this and that, like, well, where's the connection there? Like, well, what are you here for us?
I think also bringing something new to the team as well. Yeah. It was like a major key.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, like I said, like if it comes along, it comes along. You know what I mean? So but there's a lot of creatives out there, and you know, some people like I met one creative, and he was like, you know, like I want to do my own thing, man. Like he's like, watch out for me, like this, that. Like he worked with me, but he's like, you know, like I want to do my own thing, and I want to kind of like express the way I kind of shoot, so people can kind of get me as a person to shoot for their music. Like, that's cool, bro. I respect that. I respect that. You know what I mean? Like if you're there to help me, then, you know, help me. You know, I'll pay you. You go. You done a good job, and you know, do your thing. But yeah, everyone's different, man. Everyone has their own lane. But like, you know, if they're down to join, they're down to join. You know what I mean?
I feel like some of the best work created comes from working with other people who are talented and ignoring egos. I feel like egos get in the way of a lot of good business, you know, as well as you wanting to help people, you are a business at the end of the day. You're like, I'm happy to pay you, like, you know, I mean, I'm happy to work with you, but just none of that ego shit. Just get that out of here straight away. I think that's an important thing, especially with rappers. You know, you can understand it's, you know, rap is based off of I'm the best MC in the room. Who's got a problem with that? Like, you know, and so working with people like that, I'm sure there are some difficult people to deal with. And it is, as you said, it isn't just rappers. It's people behind the cameras. It's producers. It's people who run events, people who own venues. It's, you know, a bunch of people. But I think if you can scrap egos and, as you said before, if you can stay humble, and you're just willing to be good people, at the end of the day, I'm sure you boys aren't turning up to a video shoot looking for trouble. You know, you're looking to create something good, have a good time, not be like, oh, well, I'm the best around it, you know. Just trying to work with other people in the right way.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, I hear that. So, yeah, boys, I appreciate you for coming on. It's been a pleasure. What's your closing message? What's your closing message for the podcast? Anything you want to plug? Anything you want to just share with the world?
Chilling it. Come work with us.
Anybody else? Just start reeling them off, boys. Go on, while you're at it.
Alright, let's go. Let's make it happen, bro.
I want to say, first of all, appreciate you for like letting us get us on your podcast and your show, man. Like, we really appreciate what you do for the community and the culture. Yeah. I don't know, man. Your fucking music is fucking fire, bro.
Let's see your music video.
Yeah. When you come down, bro.
Come down.
Hey, when I come down to Australia, we'll talk about this a little bit off camera, but when I come down, believe me, we'll try and link up and work together.
That's it, 100%. But I don't know, man, yeah, fucking stay tuned for 2020, man. Like, yeah, there's a lot of things coming, a lot of big things coming. We expect a change for KreezyVisions. There'll be a massive shift, I guess.
Yeah.
Revamp. Big revamp for us. But yeah, no, stay tuned. And yeah, 2020. Let's go.
You boys. Appreciate you boys coming along, man.